All right, hello there. Sorry for being late. I decided to cast this last minute, so yeah. Let's see. So I hope I'm in the right game. Looking at the comps, we have. Actually, don't even know which teams are which because I wasn't in the spectator lobby before we started the stream, but so. Yeah, it looks like we will have Renata, Cyan, Aphelios, Galio, and Vi. I really like the Galio and Vi engage. And then we have the very solid Cyan pick, which is just a meta top laner right now against Cho'Gath, which is a good answer to Cyan. Silas with some good ults to steal, and Hecarim, which is really good for farming, and then the Seraphine Ashe, really heavy poke bot lane. Right now, I like the kind of comp on the left side. I think that the engage options that they have and the team fighting is going to be a lot better the right side, but I can also see the right side comps lanes being very, very oppressive. And if Hecarim gets an early lead, then it can be really hard to kind of disable him and turn him off with a comp like the one on the left. So yeah, hopefully when we get into game, I will be able to see the which team is which. I can actually check the channel. So let me see. Yeah. Then yeah, we're about to get in the game. I'm assuming it's probably started already because I am a little bit late to the event. But yeah.
I also enjoy Space Climber personally.
So we have Ionia versus Shurima. All right. Yeah. Okay. So I am joining the game in a little bit late. So now caught up. Okay. So let's see what the game state is at right now. I see we have looks like the wait, is this the right game? This is the wrong game. Okay, never mind. Oops. Joined the wrong game. Looks like I joined. Unless. Hold on, sorry about this. Can you send me? All right, let me see. Sorry about this. All right, yeah, I'll just spectate the. I'll just do the Shimmer game. Let me. Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, there we go. Looks like we are in. Alright, there we go. Alright, looks like we are finally in. So, I'm actually streaming the game between, looks like Icathia and Shadow Isles. Yes. Alright, awesome. So, we have Icathia on the red team. Right now they have a sizable gold lead of 1.5k, which is kind of expected based on the lanes that we have. Can see that the Hecarim is slightly ahead of the Vi, which again is a little bit of an issue. Hecarim can get really ahead really fast if get given a couple of kills, and it looks like they're sending an engage onto the team card. Wow, this is a really close fight. Looks like actually looks like Shadow Isles is coming out on top here. So, wow. Looks like the team fighting of the Shadow Isles team that I was talking about in the spectator, like actually is kind of working out. They went ahead in kills there. Alright. But at the same time, it's looking like For Fun is overstaying a little bit, but does not die there. Gets away, gets out safe and sound. And right now, it looks like the grubs are spawned, so there was a little bit of contention around there, but nobody is actually going to be taking these grubs. Going to be up. As you see, the laning assignments are a bit interesting. We got the Scion swapping mid and the Galio sitting with Cho'Gath top. It makes a little bit of sense given that Galio just used ult, so not going to be very useful in the upcoming fights, and it's just here to clean up some of these waves. Meanwhile, we have Hecarim getting the grubs for himself. But will we get a contest? No, it's a quick turn. The Hecarim knew that they were coming and is now going to capitalize on this. Get a quick one onto the Vi. Meanwhile, while Hecarim is taking this, it actually looks like Combo's going to outplay the mid gank by the Renata and actually come out on top. Whoa, he went back in though. And by going back in, he actually trades 1-for-1 there. Interesting. And because we see that the support is actually roamed up to the grubs, it's looking like the bot lane was trying to look for a play, but wasn't able to find anything fast enough there. So they're going to just push the wave in and get the wave in here. But it looks like Vi is looking for a play, and Hecarim is not there yet. The Hecarim's a little bit behind because of the lost tempo on the grubs, and now it looks like Vi is going to get the play off. Wow, this might be a play for them. No, Combo teleporting in, getting the play back and countering this gank. Really well done by Icathia. Very well done by Combo as well. And off that, they will get the dragon. And Hecarim is now getting really, really ahead, getting all the objectives, all the tempo. And meanwhile, it doesn't really look like Shadow Isles has much that they can do in return. They're getting all the plates as well, and now, as we can see, there is an over 3,000 gold lead in favor of Icathia. This gank though doesn't seem like there's much that's going to be able to be done. Manny is losing a little bit of tempo here for this gank. Will probably reset soon and get back onto the map. Well, the bot lane is doing a great job keeping the lead, getting the CS, and it's a really good spot for them. And now just looks like they will be trying to contest the bases, but didn't really get it done. Alright. Meanwhile, a little skirmish in the mid lane, going the way of the Galio. Galio starting to get really tanky, and meanwhile, we get a gank by Manny, just skipping all of the camps, recalling, going straight back to bot, saying, I don't care. I am just going to gank. Interesting. So much happening. Flash burned in top lane. And oh my goodness. This is a very eventful sequence right now. We have the Rift Herald spawning in a minute, and they're using everything. Outplay by the Scion. And now Combo's looking for the 1v2. The Ashe is actually there, so we actually get the play. And oh wow, following through the flash and getting out before the Galio can make the heroic entrance in. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Manny's still skipping all of the camps, going for another play. And this might actually just be the kill. So good, well played gank by Manny. And wow, this game is insane. There's so much going on right now. Oh my god. Meanwhile, Galio getting pushed. We see that Galio does not have the ult. Tried to save the play, so Galio will not be up for the Herald coming soon. I believe the Herald should be coming soon. Yeah. And we got Hecarim clearing the camp. Silas getting back on the map, but the bot lane of Icathia was not able to get the swap off, so we actually have Daddy's sitting in the bot lane right now and just clearing this wave, but will be able to rotate over. Manny getting all of his camps on spawn, actually not on spawn, a little bit late. And then Sua is doing his own things, just putting constant pressure in the top lane, forcing 3 people to come out just to waste their time and flash away. Wow, insane. But will it be enough? It was a really good attempt by Sua there, but wasn't quite enough. Very good Renata ult, but wasn't enough there. The Silas with the stolen vial is gonna come in and not be able to kill Ontario. The save, the bailout by Renata was enough. Oh my goodness. And it looks like actually Shadow Isles comes on top and is able to get the Rift Herald. What a crazy sequence. These last 3 minutes have been incredible. No backing off. It's just been constant action. It's finally seeming like nothing's really going on. Everyone's getting their resets in. We got Icathia respawning, and now the gold lead has actually decreased to about 1k, so that sequence of plays worked really, really well for Shadow Isles. They come back pretty hard. Annie is actually going in onto this. It's a 1v3 for now, but they can't really kill him. He's stalling enough time for the rest of the team to come into this fight. And they're actually able to capitalize on this. They may have overstayed a little bit too much, and Manny is just taking over. He still hasn't died, and he's finally killed by Atomic Ghost, but it just seems like they did too much. And Combo's doing a lot, but wow. Wasn't enough to actually, I'm actually a little bit surprised, but yeah, looks like Shadow Isles are still clawing their way back into this game. It's only a 400 gold deficit now for them. They're very close. They got everything they came for. They traded even in that fight, and now they're just able to walk away, not lose anything, get this mid lane tower even. And yeah, this is actually looking much better for Shadow Isles now. Good turnaround by them in these last couple of sequences. I feel like Manny didn't really like do his camps on the right timers and went for way too many plays, used his major cooldowns before this Herald spawn, and kind of like didn't set up properly for this Rift Herald. So now that kind of lost them a lot in the grand scheme of things. They get a Herald play top, they get a tower mid, and now the gold is actually in favor of Shadow Isles. And even now they're just getting a kill bot lane and really applying a lot of pressure here. They're getting the Drake now after that bot lane play, and they might even look for a bot lane tower. And top lane, Scion is just outplaying this combo and just doing a lot of work. Wow. Okay. Really good comeback by Manny to protect his mid laner from the play, but looks like the trade is going to be the bot lane tower going down, and this will probably increase the gold lead even more for Shadow Isles, getting their resets in and redeploying on the map. Though Vi is sitting a little bit over, using the Hex Gate to get back into her jungle and start clearing these camps away while her team is redeploying onto the map. Really good sequence of these last 3 minutes by Shadow Isles coming back into this game, and their team should be the better team comp team in this later stages of the game. The Hecarim, who was like really strong in the game, is a little bit weaker now. Not as threatening when there is a Vi and a Galio that can chain CC and ult dive them, and a Renata who can keep the Hecarim away from their carries with the ultimate. Yeah. They're a little bit wary of getting vision, but they will go into their jungle, take back some of the space, and to see where Otacon's gonna spawn here. It looks like Otacon's spawning on the top side of the map, so that's probably going to draw some attention, as it is the next objective for both these teams. Alright, it's looking like the Icathia is coming and pushing their lanes in, answering the top wave, answering the mid wave, but it's gonna be hard for them to really like outfight this like Vi, Galio, and Renata combo. They have a lot of pressure in team fights, but if they keep getting caught like this, then might be a little bit hard. The Aphelios Slash is a major tool and something that the other team could definitely capitalize on. Shadow Isles can do a lot with that cooldown off, but it's looking like Vi is going in and actually just killing the Ashe. God, and Seraphine is just dead too. Wow, what a crazy follow-up from that earlier play, which like seemed to be going in favor of Icathia, but actually Shadow Isles comes on top, and it looks like they're going to set up for the Opcon now. Well played. This mid-game sequence was really impressive. And it looks like they actually did get the Otacon for this. Well played to the Shadow Isles here. Now they have a considerable lead, really good team fighting, and it's going to be really hard for Icathia to claw their way back into this game. Where'd they go from here? Combo is trying to sneak in a push mid lane, as that's really like the only thing you can do when the enemy team is going for Otacon with numbers advantage. Yeah, they did get some vision in the jungle, but it looks like Tai is going to clear that vision away and make it really difficult for them to get any space or get any map control at all. But they are playing a little bit far back. They do have the pressure in the lead right now, but they are still like, it's not really like pushing up onto the map. I guess they're a little bit worried about the Ashe ult and the Hecarim engage. Yeah, so they're taking it a little bit slow here, which is fine. Looks like Icathia is gonna get their bases in. Next Drake, when will it spawn? I can't see. Probably pretty soon. Where's the timer for that? Let's see. I cannot find it, but yeah, it looks like they are all setting up for this Drake, so it is probably spawning soon, and both teams are setting up. Let's see, for teleports, we have, Combo does have his teleport as he goes top, and so does Bishop. They both have their teleports here, and they are going to get the wave in, but it looks like Bishop has pushed here, and Combo is trying to make plays, but if he just loses health, then his teleport becomes way less valuable. But at the same time, Galio is getting caught on the other side of the map, and He has to flash away, but it might not be enough. Hecarim's going in, engaging. The Rana ult still isn't enough. The Vi ult isn't enough either, as they're just all gonna die one by one as they go in one by one into the team that wants them to go in one by one with their type of comp. And all of them just got caught one by one, and it's a little bit of a throw by the Shadow Isles here. Wow. Good comeback and good response after this otherwise pretty slow and mistake-heavy mid-game by Icathia. Icathia is looking for even more with the combo going in on the Renata, but for Fun Flare will just reset, be safe, and Icathia will also get their bases in and redeploy onto the map with their newfound gold from the kills that they just got. So now the playing field is a little bit more even. But like I keep saying, you never can count out the team fighting of the Shadow Isles comp. Their team fighting is very extraordinary, but if they go in one by one like they just did, it will be a little bit harder for them to play these fights out. They cannot do that kind of stuff, or else it'll be really hard for them to win this game. Next up, we have the Baron, and it looks like the setup is going to be very similar, except now Sua's pushing on the opposite side of the lane with the teleport and the other team. And then on Shadow Isles, it's still going to be the Galio. Galio also with teleport, so they will both be able to get into the Baron fight, and they will send their other teammates to answer the lanes that the Baron is on. So we have Combo in mid, Ephraim in the top side, and Ashe Seraphine pushing out top wave. Meanwhile, we have the Aphelios and Scion pushing out the top and mid wave. Looking like nothing's really going on top, like these trades don't really matter too much. It's a Galio and a Cho'Gath, pretty just big, beefy boys, and as you can see, we have a lot of good vision control from the Icathia right now. They have a lot of wards in the river, and they have Scuttle as well. Manny trying to get an engage off, but wasn't quite able to get it there. Cho'Gath did teleport a little bit earlier, so they will have to give up the space because of this. But we still do see that somehow Bishop was able to slip through and actually get access to this top wave, and is actually just pushing it. Meanwhile, Combo is very, very deep into the jungle. It's okay, his team has his back. And they actually hit the Seraphine ult, and so they might actually just win this fight. No, the Galio was actually able to teleport in and save them here, and now it's just a 5v4. We have all 5 going in on Icathia, but Scion is just pushing tier 3 tower right now. So they better make it count. They're getting the Baron, but they're losing their entire top side as a response. It's not a bad response, but I would have liked to see blue team teamfight a little bit. They just lose tier 3, but they lose a lot. They lose a bunch of their players. They lose their Baron. Wow, they lose so much for the Scion just pushing top. I wonder what the comms were like there. Oh wow, nice Ashe ult. Will it be enough? Yes, it will. Combo is able to defend the inhibitor here. And he will be okay. Yes, he will be fine. So they get the Baron, they get the Scion, they get everyone else on their team, and all they lose is a tier 2 and a tier 3. I think that's a pretty worth it trade for Icathia, as now they are back up in gold and in a very commanding position in this game. They better make this Baron buff count. Looks like here they're going to send 4 mid lane and then just have the Cho'Gath go bot lane. The rest of them will go mid. Actually, Hecarim's going, and weirdly, okay, no, he's not. He was pinging the chickens. Actually, he is going to the chickens. He is leaving his team to do chickens on Baron timer when they're trying to get pushed. This is a very interesting choice by the Hecarim here, but we'll have to see if it pays, if those 8 CS will pay off. Meanwhile, the rest of the team is pushing all of the lanes through. We got a good push going bot lane and mid, and then Hecarim's just resetting now, so yeah, this team's very out of sync right now, I think. I guess Hecarim had like an item spike of some sort. Yeah, it looks like he did, so maybe that's why it was worth it to do that. Makes sense. Makes a little bit more sense now with that in mind. Alright, they got a little chunk on the Cho'Gath, so it wasn't too much. Hecarim does pop the phase rush there. It doesn't really get much out of it. They are getting mid tier 2 though. They are able to get it and get out, which is with the mobility of the Sylas, but not much else there, as Dragon will be spawning now. They have perfect setup for this. They have mid push, they have bot push, and they have so much vision control over this river. It seems impossible for Shadow Owls to ever contest this Drake, and yeah, they are not able to. As there is a wasted Cyno mid, and they actually can look for a fight here. They are engaging into this comp, and but it is worth mentioning that Icathia is a little bit split here. Yeah, Shadow Isles is all grouped, and because of this, they're actually losing this fight. Icathia is losing this fight because of they were split. There was 3 of them in the jungle and 2 of them in lane, and now the only survivor was Cho'Gath. They kind of threw this one, I'm not gonna lie. Wow, they might actually just lose the game off that. Wow, that is incredible that they were in such a commanding position, and because they decided to fight like this, they might just lose this game. Getting to tier 3, and Death Timers is Seraphine up in 6 seconds, but Seraphine probably won't be enough. They have Bishop just tanking the towers, and yeah, like just popping the time passing. Can Seraphine defend? Ashe is up in 7 seconds, 1 second, and Ashe is up now. Can they defend? No, they cannot. That is it. That is the game. Wow, a really, really big missed opportunity by Icathia, as they will lose. I believe this is their 2nd loss in the entire season. So, yeah, good job on Shadow Isles. Well played. I just got kicked out of the lobby, but hold on. Let me ask for an invite. Yeah, all right. That was very, very well played by Shadow Isles at the end. That team fight is exactly what they were looking for. They were looking for a opportunity for them to fight grouped together with the Vine, the Galio, and the ability to just pick people off when they were kind of split apart. The Icathia was split apart there. It was very unfortunate at the end of that game. So yeah, very, very, very good game. It was also a very fun game to watch, even though I joined in the middle of the game. Yep. All right. All right. Let's see. Sorry, I'm taking a little break to drink some, to have a drink of Diet Coke so I can keep talking nonstop. It is just me. I am solo casting this game, so yeah. Uh, okay. Trying to access the draft link, but can't. I think because I signed up for this last minute. So, yeah. Hopefully we can. Yeah. Let me see. Yep. Yep. Sorry, I'm just getting things set up. Let's see. Ah, thank you. There we go. Okay, I got the draft link now. We are good to go. Here we go. Here it is. All right, let's see. So we're in the middle of the draft. Let's see what we have so far. So, on the side of Shadow Isles, we have Ornn, Samira, Leona, and Vagar, and it looks like their final pick is Kayn. So this team is very, very engage heavy, actually. They have a lot of engage in lockdown. Even the Vygar has the wall, which will keep people locked in, especially this Tryndamere, for example, will not be able to get through that wall if he gets stuck, and it'll make it really hard for him to do his job. Meanwhile, on the other side of the team, they are finally closing out their draft. They haven't picked their last champion yet, but they are lacking a little bit of frontline, so I would like to see some frontline here against this engaged team. Mordekaiser isn't a bad option. Will likely be able to get rid of one of these, either this Kayn or one of these carry champions from the fight if they can get through the Ornn and the Leona, or alternatively can actually just isolate the Ornn or Leona and remove them from the fight, most likely the Ornn, to allow his team to go in and engage. It's also a very solid way for Mordekaiser to play this one out. We don't actually know who is going to be the jungler, though. It could be Tryndamere jungle or Mordekaiser jungle. We don't know. Tryndamere jungle, obviously we saw it in the LTA. We saw Inspired play it and get a pentakill on it, so obviously it has some level of viability. But on the other side of things, we have the Kayn jungle, who will honestly not really do too much work, especially as red Kayn. Kayn will have a very, very difficult time engaging here with the Taliyah, which is a very good option into most of the champions on their team. The Samir and the Kayn will be very annoyed by this Taliyah E, and will be unable to engage easily with it up onto the ground. So, yeah, very, very difficult for them to go in. I do really like the way that Icathia drafted this counter engage with the Xayah and the Mordekaiser specifically, and the Taliyah. Very good options to prevent this lockdown, and of course the Milio counter pick for the Leona as well. They have a lot of options to get all out of this kind of like Ornn and Leona and like Veigar lockdown that Shadow Isles has formed with their team. But still, though, they do have to be wary. Leona is obviously a very, very strong early lane and can take over a game if you step up too much into the Leona or anything like that. Leona can crucially buffer the Milio Q when it tries to knock Leona back if she times the E right. And so there are definitely ways for this Shadow Isles team to take over the game and again just play this really straightforward and traditional engage composition with a lot of frontline. You see this a lot in the Shadow Isles teams. They really like picking a lot of frontline and putting their ADC on these really hard carry, high damage champions. So yeah, they have a very solid team comp as well. I feel like the only really weak part of their composition is the Kayn. I don't really know why the Kayn was picked last here. It doesn't really do much into the Tryndamere or the Xayah, who will just go untargetable if they ever go in. And you honestly don't even know what form they might pick. They might pick Red Kayn or to answer the Mordekaiser and the Tryndamere, but mainly the Mordekaiser. But you can also see an argument for Blue Kayn as well to really pick off this backline. But the problem with the Red Kayn is really all you have is Mordekaiser to deal with. And the problem with Blue Kayn is you have to deal with the Xayah ult and the Talia stones. So it's going to be really hard to make either form work in this game, I feel like. So yeah, that is one issue I see with their team. But other than that, it seems fine. Straightforward engage, try to snowball the game, except for the Kayn, of course. Their bot lane's really, really, really strong. And so I hope to see their jungle, their Kayn, play around this bot lane a lot and go and try to really like leverage the fact that the Milio Xayah before level 6 might be easy to lock down and pick. And we are getting into the draft soon. I mean, we will have spectator delay, but yeah. Very exciting. All right. Looks like the spectator delay is on, so yeah. This is game 2, so we will be up for a little while unless one of them can get a win quickly. You gotta love the way that the Shadow Isles have really come to play this series. They had a pretty convincing, spotty at times, but they messed up some plays. But in the team fighting, they really shined in that last game, and they showed that, you know, even though the long-standing Icathia, the team that has been like really, really strong this entire season, that they can actually like step up and beat them toe to toe. And yeah, as we get into the spectator delay, I will be right back, and I'll be back on when the game starts. So yeah. All right, I am back. The spectator delay is up to 20 seconds. My cat is on the desk, so very, very enjoyable, and we are almost ready to get into this one. Any last thoughts before this game starts? I have a feeling that the Shadow Isles, if they take some of their momentum from the last game, they can snowball this early game super hard and hopefully not throw. They did have an issue with some throws in some points of the game, but the Samira, if the Samira can pop off, then there is not too much that that Icathia can really do about this, because they don't have much direct CC to prevent the ult from going through from Samira. So yeah. All right, we are in the game. Sorry about that. My cat just walked on my keyboard. All right, I'm fast forwarding a little bit, and they're both going for an invade. Both teams are grouping as 5. It looks like they are both walking into each other's jungle and trying to get some cheese off. No wards drop by either team. Very interesting. So they will just start to go for their normal clears now. It does look like it is actually Mordekaiser jungle. Crucially, that is also important. Mordekaiser jungle is something that I've experimented with. It is pretty fine, especially into certain teams. This team is a team that the Mord can work into with the front. It has 2 options. Can ult the backliners that, like the Samira that wants to go in, or can deal with the, oh wow, Tryndamere got a couple of crits off, or can deal with the Ornn and just ult the Ornn and make the fight a lot easier for Icathia. Tryndamere is doing really well this lane already. As expected, Tryndamere should do well into an Ornn lane, and has also been getting a lot of crits off. That time no crits, but on that level 1, oh my god, those crits were hurting. Wow. Both junglers are opting to path bot lane. Pretty standard stuff. Tryndamere, Ornn lane. Not much you can do. If you try to help and gank Tryndamere, then, you know, the Ornn is just going to scale up and be able to neutralize the lane anyway. If you gank the Ornn, it doesn't really matter. It's an Ornn. Ornn's a tank. You would rather impact your bot lane, your strong bot lane. But the Tryndamere in these early levels is getting the prio that he should get, and is trying to really put some pressure while he still can before the Ornn picks up like a Warden's Mail or a Thorn's Mail or something like that. Both junglers are almost finished with their clears. Very close. And both bot lanes are pretty healthy, so probably will be pretty hard for them to really do anything. Good sidestep by the Vargar there. Very, very good. And yeah, Sua's getting the cryo, and it's probably going to set up for a reset here. Meanwhile, the junglers are pathing bot. There isn't too much going on. There is the buffer from the Leona, but this is a really bad time because look, the Mordekaiser is here, and now for fun, Flare has to flash out of the range. And the Mordekaiser just got Leona Flash for free. But because Leona Samira is still just a stronger lane, they are able to get their Kane the Scuttle prio. And even more so, this allows the Vygar to actually play aggressive and get some trades in. And right now, like, this is a good response, but it might be a little bit too late. Nothing's going to really happen because of this, and Kane can just waltz away and get back to the clear. Meanwhile, Mordekaiser opting not to recall here and just start the full clear. You have to be careful when you do this. And meanwhile, Leona Samira being really, really aggressive, forcing out a flash from the Milio. Very good, and Zai is walking up into melee range of Leona. What is this? Forcing another spell to be used, but oh my god, Bishop just went in and dove and just died. I don't know what more to say. Thought that he had the solo kill, but you know, Tryndamere is kind of hard to kill with the Q and the heals and stuff and the dashes, so didn't really get anything from that, and just ended up dying to the Tryndamere, which is very important. Tryndamere needs to have a lead onto the Ornn to really impact this lane at all, because if Ornn gets some items under his belt, then Tryndamere will just do negative damage to him. Meanwhile, because the Mordekaiser skipped the reset, we do see that the Kayn is just getting ahead in the clear time. We'll be here for this dragon first, but it is important for this dragon for the bot lane to get a reset in so that they can be strong for this dragon, fully healthy. But it is important to say they still did get most of the summoner spells of the bot lane. Actually, no, they got all of them except for Zaya's Flash, so yeah. Really well played all around, actually. Wow, really crazy trade of flashes for the mid laners there, as they will both probably just reset. And actually, it is combo getting the reset earlier. The Taliyah will have move, will have the teleport, but because of that mid lane trade and because we have this really strong bot lane, even though they didn't quite get their resets in, they're just able to brute force this dragon, and there's really not much that they can do about it. They're trying, but I mean, Mordekaiser can only do so much in these early levels, and Ghost just gets the kill, gets the flash. Unfortunately though, because Veigar didn't get the reset in, Taliyah will just come up and mop up this fight. Wow, really bad and big mistake by Veigar for not getting the reset, I think, in my opinion. This is not ideal. And it actually looks like Icathia is gonna get the Drake because of that. So yeah. That should really have been Shadow Isle's dragon, but unfortunately Taliyah did a really great reset, got to be able to use the ult to get in the fight and clean it up. And honestly, this also will do a lot to make... This will actually lose the bot lane wave, it seems like, as well. Samira just coming back to lane for that. Even though Samira is ahead, Xayah also got a kill from that. And so now it's a little bit scary. You don't want the Xayah to get a kill in this type of Samira Leona lane. You want to be ahead of the curve. Now we have both supports roaming up the grubs. Both of them are very interested in this. Oh, but Mordekaiser just got level 6, and Atomic Ghost is in a little bit of trouble. He's just getting autoed to death. There's not really much that he can do here. He is just going to die, and that is probably going to be the grubs for Icathia. So Icathia getting both objectives here, getting pressure top lane, getting like a good play onto the dragon with the Taliyah reset, and wow, a pause that is just occurring now. And it looks like they are saying that their jungle is lagging after getting a solo kill. What a flex was that. Just get the solo kill on to the enemy jungler, basically, with the Mord ult, and then just say, yeah, I was lagging when I did that. Incredible. Incredible. Well played. So as we're in this pause, it already looks like Icathia has a substantial lead. They have already a 2,000 gold lead as Tryndamere is just proxying, getting all of this farm, and has a over 20, almost 20 CS advantage. And in the meanwhile, obviously Taliyah got that incredible roam, also 10 CS up, was able to get that really good reset timer into the ult, into the dragon play, into the cleanup, and the Leona Samira lane wasn't actually able to really get much in terms of a lead. Like, they had the lead in the dragon fight, but they just didn't have the mid lane tempo. So yeah, and as soon as we resume, we were just getting the Ornn engaged, but might not be enough here, as it looks, I'm pretty sure Tryndamere has ult still. Yeah, he does. So Tryndamere's going in, gets cancelled though, and will just die. Unfortunate. That is a little bit of gold back to the Shadow Isles. And the grubs are still occurring. Okay, I'm lagging a little bit here. What is going on here? Okay, there we go. We're back. And they sent their bot lane there, and this means that Samira is still strong. Samira is now level 6, and it looks like Samira did get canceled by Talia a little bit there, but they will be getting those remaining grubs. So starting to even out the gold lead a little bit off those plays. There was a lot of gold on the Tryndamere, I think. I think that was a shutdown. And yeah, it's a little bit of a glimmer of hope for the Shadow Isles after being down almost 2k gold before. Now it's pretty close to even again. Oh no, Combo stepped up a little bit too much and will just be killed. It is important to note that the Samira, even though the Samira can dash in, it's still, the dash will still complete even through the Talia stones. So yeah, we'll just get the kill over to, actually it looks like Leona took that one, but still very, very good play for them. Looks like Sua is going for the proxy. Will burn even their ghost for this proxy on the Tryndamere. While Mordekaiser and Kayn still just doing their clears. This is a very passive jungle matchup here, as they will not be going for too many plays. Both junglers do just like full clearing, and yeah, just full clear, be very passive, just their lanes win. Kayn could have done more probably onto the spot lane, but yeah, it's alright. It's fine. I respect it. Kayn's just will get form and try to take over the game from there, but still think it'll be pretty hard. Kayn looks like they are setting up for a lane gang, and meanwhile, while this is all being said, it just looks like Veigar just got a solo kill on the Talia that was really ahead, that ult advantage, and just having that combat ult really just made the difference. And now, at the other end of the stage, we just have Icathia. We just have the Mordekaiser just ulting the Samira away and just getting the free kill. Very, very classic Mordekaiser play. You just walk up, ult, and just start autoing the ADC, and there you go. That's a kill. Meanwhile, it looks like a TP play is being made to this bot lane. It is the Veigar. They didn't use their TP before, and now, oh, the Xayah just got the feather recall and will actually run back at the Veigar. Just killed Leona, and this Xayah is actually getting a lot of kills. Staying in this game, has more CS than the, this is a very suspicious Talia wall, but yeah, Xayah is really, really in this game, actually. And so the Samira Leona lane has kind of been neutralized at this point. They haven't really got a big lead. Oh, nice try in the flash for combo, but didn't really quite make it there. Trying to use the fact that they have the main advantage on this play. They will not get anything except for the Waven. They do get the Waven, though, and they will all take their resets as the dragon is spawning. So what does this mean? This actually means that the Kayn, who is now became Rost, Kayn is now Red Kayn, can actually go and contest this Drake. They are a little bit slow, but at the same time, like, Veigar is a little bit low on HP. Tryndamere is moving. So they didn't actually go for this Drake on spawn, and so as a result, they will probably have to give it up. The Ornn is going to be late to this play, and so Icathia just going in, forcing the Leona ult out, and yeah. But now it looks like Ornn is just the Ornn that's 2 levels down. I mean, still Tryndamere does like no damage, but you know, because Ornn is just that kind of character. Drake will be getting taken by Icathia here. They just have much, much stronger team fighting right now in this particular game because of because their Leona Samira on Shadow Isles hasn't been able to get a lead at any way, shape, or form. And it also looks like Veigar is a little bit caught here. Shimmer is going to go in and auto. Yep, there it is. And that is just another free kill for Icathia. Icathia is showing that. Oh, nice interrupt on the reset, but probably won't amount to much. Icathia is showing that even though they did lose that game 1, that they know that they can win this game 2 with their counter engage composition into the full engage and dive comp that the Shadow Isles has made. And meanwhile, we have Herald spawning soon. Herald will be spawning in a minute, and as this is occurring, the bot lane is getting their resets off. Sua's putting pressure onto the top tower, and in the meantime, as a result of this reset, the Shadow Isles bot lane is trying to get an advantage. They're trying to catch up. And it looks like Sua just wasted flash trying to get over the wall and was not able to. We'll still get the tower though, and that still probably is worth it, because that tower is going to open up the map a little, especially for when this Herald spawns. And now when you're in this position, as the Shadow Isles, the thing that you want to really be thinking about is, how can we trade this Rift Herald? Because it doesn't seem like they can really play for the Rift Herald here. Xayah has ults, has all of her sums up, and so it's going to be really hard to lock this character down, especially with all of this counter engage that Xayah has. And because Leona is opting to actually look and get vision and not trade for this Herald, Leona's just getting bullied off, leading to less HP, and now they're probably just going to rip this Rift Herald right now. And there's probably nothing that Shadow Isles can really do about this, honestly. They are looking, though. Importantly, they are looking for this Rift Herald. They are sending more people up here, but at the same time, Mordekaiser has ult. Kayn has ult with the horn, and so Kayn might actually just win. Kayn just gets the shutdown with the ult, and we're seeing the Xayah ult casting so late. Oh, I didn't even think about the recall getting blocked by Samira. That is a really interesting interaction. But it looks like Xayah can actually just play from range and, like I was saying, like be able to not get dove on. It was actually the Mordekaiser who probably just picked the wrong target for ult. Ulting the Kayn is probably not the best idea, and actually the bot lane does get locked on. The Xayah does get locked in on, but you can see that the Tryndamere is here. The Tryndamere is really strong, and so a triple kill to Sua. But because of this teleport play, because this occurred, that means that that Tai Lao gets some time onto this tower, gets some time to kill and destroy this tower. But in the meantime, mid lane is also getting a tower on the side of Icathia, so just a lot happening again in this like mid-game sequence. Looks like Mordekaiser will get the return kill, and as a response, Sua will get the Rift Herald. And having the Rift Herald on Tryndamere can be very scary. You cannot leave this pick with the Rift Herald, or else Tryndamere will get multiple towers possibly. So you have to be very careful. Tryndamere is just vacuuming gold. This Tryndamere has 159 CS at 17 minutes. That is almost 10 CS per minute, so it's a lot of gold, and something that especially the Samira and the Veigar must be very worried about later on in the game as the game goes on. Oh no, Samira's getting locked down there. Like we said, it's very good counter engage composition with the Talia E, but Talia, wow, the Leona actually hits that, but the Milio disengage is just better. At the same time, Atomicus went over the wall, gets the ult up on this low Talia, and just gets the kill. But now, no ults on the Kayn means that Kayn will probably just die here. Very interesting sequence of events here. And now, the Mordekaiser has the perfect conditions here. We'll just be able to chase down the team and the knockup by the Rift Herald. Wow, well played by Icathia here on this play. And the Rift Herald barreling down the mid wave. Dragon is up. Wow. Well played still. Wow, Sua's looking for even more though. might not be a good idea. I know he has ult, but what does this kill do? Oh no, he actually didn't even get the kill. Samira gets the shutdown, and while it is a dragon still, it's a little bit sketchy for it is a little bit sketchy for Icathia, but they still did get it. Another shutdown though for the Kayn. That is a little bit concerning. Having a fed Kayn, especially with ult, like probably used it a little bit early there. I get why, but yeah. Alright, they are TPing to this Drake. I assume Mordekaiser has the Drake pretty low at this point. Yeah, he did. Alright. So they will only just get the return kill for the teleport, but probably not much more. They're looking, but you know, Talia has the peel tools with the E, and oh wow, actually Mord is walking backwards, opting to take this fight. Doesn't even get the ult off in time, and the Samira and the Talia just decide to stay, and the Samira just gets the kill, the free kill. I think Talia should have just left the Mordekaiser behind there, but we do get a little bit of a return kill. It seems like Bishop was just caught shopping there in the recall because was not moving even after the root. So yeah, unfortunate, unlucky. Meanwhile, we do have Sua just getting some more turrets, trading flash for it, you know, and go. It was kind of a little bit caught though. There's a lot of people. That Leona ult did not look like it hit, but I guess it did. There's the Nygar cage to lock down the Tryndamere, and Tryndamere is dead. I don't know if that was necessarily worth using Flash and Ghost for, but yeah. Now they have it. Now Shadow Isles does have a number advantage for this Otacon fight, despite having a gold deficit. It probably won't take it though. It's still not good enough of a justification to take this Otacon here, but it's worth noting that they will get some vision down. They kind of need some vision down on this Otacon, but nothing's really happening mid-wave. Everyone is just kind of getting set up for this Otacon here, and we will see that Shadow Isles will take some space because the Tryndamere just respawned. It will be interesting to see what the Tryndamere does after the respawn. Oh wow, the Shadow Isles are opting to start this Otacon here, but they do it after Tryndamere respawns, so Tryndamere might actually make it to this fight, and if they do, this could be a really, really bad fight. That was a really good try and attempt to catch them, but it looks like Cleanse was used. Was it Cleanse or was it, must have been like some sort of Mikhail's or something like that. And meanwhile, while this is happening, it just seems like, why is Icathia not winning this fight? Like, it feels like Icathia should have won. Yeah, okay, Icathia is winning. Zaya's back. Zaya's coming in. Nygar's probably dead. Now the Bishop's probably dead. They're all probably dead now, and you know, Icathia expectedly takes this fight. Very, very well played by them. Getting the Otacon, getting having three dragons for themselves, and now it's pretty hard to see Shadow Isles winning this game. Their Samira has fallen quite a long way behind the Xayah, and Tryndamere is just mopping up farm wave after wave after wave, getting so many towers, having so much golden impact in this game, and yeah, it's gonna be really hard for Shadow Isles to come back from this loss. Alright, we have a play from Combo. He is able to get away, it seems like. Yeah, he has to burn the flash because of the Leona ult, but yeah. Oh, Combo's going back in. Whoa, that was crazy. That was like almost quad levels of crazy. Oh my goodness. Oh, the Ornn Gate hitting too, but I don't think it'll be enough. We have Manny just in the back line, just taking over this fight. Meanwhile, Kane is just not as strong as this Mord. This Mord is just so strong in the 1v1. Even against a red Kane, it is just so hard for the Kane to play. And Icathia winning yet another fight. And they might just look to get the inhib here, but it seems like the Kane is getting the wave, so that's all they can really do. They can't really do much more. But Drake should be spawning soon, and as a result, they are going to walk to the Drake and get themselves the Infernal Soul. Alright, Icathia has the Infernal Soul. This is a very important part of the game. This Baron is spawning in 30 seconds, but frankly, it just seems like Icathia just has everything. Everything they need, so yeah. Really well played by them so far. And it seems like all they really need to do is just get the Baron and end the game. They can honestly just win a team fight or just walk it down mid, but yeah, they are going to ping for the Baron. Because they went for the soul though, the Shadow Isles will get the Scuttle first and we'll get some vision set up on the Baron. But it just doesn't seem like it will matter. It just seems like the Icathia team will just win with their wallets, win with the Infernal Soul, which they have just so much pressure here. I mean, yeah, Ornn is a little bit hard for Tryndamere to do like any damage to, but you know, it's fine. It probably doesn't really matter too much, honestly. And so, yeah, there's probably not too much they can do to stop Icathia from just like kind of walking up to this Baron and looking for it. So they will do that. Ornn is looking for an ult though. It is important to know. Oh, he missed the ult. Oh, that is so bad. He missed the ult. As a result, their engage will just be a failure. Like they won't be able to do this. And because Talia is just there, Talia actually teleported back. I think that Talia did not need to do that. I think that they could just end the game. Why are they going for this Baron? They could just end the game. Why are they going for this Baron? Okay, they realized that they can just end the game finally. Okay, so now they are going to end the game, and this just seems like GG. It is a 10k gold lead. It is Infernal Soul. I mean, they just won that team fight very, very well, and they played the counter engage comp very well into this engage comp from Shadow Isle. It's very, very well played. We're able to neutralize the Leona Samira lane, that really, really strong lane with the lane, and yeah, very, very well played. Good job. All right, and now we will see the next draft, as it will start basically immediately. This is game 3. So right now it is 1-1. Both teams have one win, and yeah, it will be pretty exciting series. Oh my god, it looks like their ADC is AFK. this series is gonna go pretty long. I'm pretty sure it's a best of 5. So, yeah, let's hope that they can get this game going. So, yeah, I understand though. Pets can be a little bit annoying, so to deal with, yeah, for sure. What do people usually do in between the? What do people usually do in between the series? Is there anything in particular? Like I saw somebody doing a lol dole, but I don't really like do the daily like lol doles. So yeah. Um. And okay, I'm catching up with the chat right now. Let's see. So, the series score I believe is 1-1. It's 1-1 right now. So there is the Shadow Isles won the first game and Icathia won the second game. So yeah, if I remember correctly, yeah. The Shadow Isles won the first game with their full engaged comp. They went like a Vi Galio engaged comp with like good peel with Renata as well. They had really good team fight and they pulled off a major upset. There was Kathia kind of had the game under their control, and then they were in the they were there was a point where two of them were on Icathia. I think the bot lane was pushing up mid, and then the other three were in the red side jungle or were in the red side jungle of Shadow Isles, and so what ended up happening was they lost that team fight, and Shadow Isles just walked it down mid and ended the game. So yeah, I believe it is 1-1. All right, let's see. Have they started the draft yet? No. Got my dogs out. Okay. Looks like they are going to start the draft soon. We will see. Let me confirm with them because I arrived late. All right. Yeah, they did throw game one. Yep, they did throw. They did good throw game one. Oh my god. Yeah, I will definitely, if I pull somebody for an interview, I will definitely ask what happened game one and why they think they lost. Because that, from the spectator's perspective, it was very clear to me that they lost because they were separated and, yeah, so they just kind of like lost that team fight. Um, yeah. We threw game one. I'm glad they know though. Yeah, I'm glad they know. Zero cappuccino. All right. Yeah, I guess they do bleed. I just saw that comment as well. Um, yeah, they lost. I think that if I remember correctly, that Icathia has like won all except for like one game, but now it's all except two games because they lost one game. Yeah, incredible. So they seem like it seems like they're starting soon. It looks like Ontario's spamming ready, so uh, just waiting for Icathia to start their game. It's 10:44, so we'd like this to start soon, or at least for me, it's 10:44. So, yeah, I will cast the entire thing. I will cast the whole series, but it will be late, so that will be fun. I'm preparing myself for my game on Thursday, which will also start very late. So, yeah, it's my adjusting my sleep schedule for that. All right, what is going on here? Are they ready? Um, hello. I'm on blue side. Yeah, but they need to start the game. They need to start the draft. Oh, are they lining up in the side select before starting the game? Take 5:45. All right. I guess we'll finally be able to go through an entire draft with both these teams. Yeah, it looks like they're good now. They're spamming readies. All right, what is going on? I can't. The sound is too loud. Okay, there we go. Finally. Okay, so bans. What are we expecting here? Probably the Suez Volibear. Very strong pick. Yeah, the Heimerdinger from Shadow Isles also very strong. It's been very oppressive. So yeah, getting some of these like main champs out of the way. Um, yep. All right, the Jinx. Shadow Isles does have a strong Jinx on the Ontario field, and so they will just take that away. And these vans seem very stock standard. Getting rid of Suas, Volibear, and Kale, very, very good picks of his. And the Vladimir is also banned away from combo, so yes, that will be it. Now, first pick for Icathia. What do they go for here? What is their entrance into this game? It is the Shinzao. Very classic. Just can do kind of a little bit of everything. Good peel with his ults, good spacing, good dueling. And then the response is Zeri, and maybe just a Lulu or some enchanter support with this Zeri. Very interesting. It does deny the Shinzao Lulu as well. Shinzao can work pretty well with Lulu, so it denies that kind of comp, and so what they're going to opt to do is say, all right, it's time to go in. We see Zeri Lulu. Let's engage this. Let's engage this team. Let's go in. Let's make them afraid of us. But I don't know if that will work against a Zeri Lulu. We'll see if the Kai'Sa's actually locked in. It is. So they are just going into the Zeri and Lulu and just really just giving it to them. The Kai'Sa and the Nautilus. Very, very aggressive draft with the Shinzao. So yeah, they're very, very aggressive here, and they will again. So now the onus is on Icathia to get a lead into this Zeri Lulu team. They will try to be very, very aggressive. And another thing is that we are noticing that when is that the support here is going engage. So I haven't actually really seen her go engage. Usually enchanters, but yeah, it's very interesting. So we'll have to see how Katie performs on this Nautilus pick. So yeah, very, very cool. I'm excited. And then, all right, let's go to the second round of bans. The Fury ban makes a lot of sense. It just follows up with the rest of the dive, but it usually is a jungler, not a mid laner. So, um, could be a little bit afraid of some other Nefiri options like mid or top, but it's interesting. And then Syndra, yeah, very classic, like just get off me. So yeah, it makes sense for them to ban that if they are an engaged team. So yeah, let's see the now for the fourth pick, we have a lot of options here. They could pivot a little bit and get some more like get off me mid laner. Syndra was banned, but there are other options. But they just go for the Mel. They go for this they go for the Lissandra. So even just more just lockdown and like anti-carry, like don't get stay away from me or else I will just click ult on you and make it so that my Zeri Lulu can just kind of like melt you down with damage. So yeah, very, very good option. So far, I think the thing that Shadow Owl's comp is missing, maybe this is intended though, is like a lot of engage. They don't have any engage at all. And now we just see Karma being locked in. I mean, this is definitely not support Karma, right? Like this is probably like mid lane Karma? Like maybe it is support Karma and Nautilus is going to another lane. I don't know. It's very interesting. I don't really know how Karma fits into this draft, but it will do a lot of poke, especially if it is like a lane Karma. It could just like do a lot of poke damage to this team without any engage, and there's not really much they can do. So they are fully pivoting into this like poke oriented team. So we got Varus, we got Karma, and so now like Varus and Karma can just like slowly poke this team out, this Zeri Lulu team. Just like throw a lot of like poke spells and how can you stop this? You need to draft some engage on Shadow Owls to be able to stop this. And Lissandra, like, yeah, can engage, but isn't really like that great at it. And Malphite, yeah, makes a lot of sense. You have two ADCs and the Xin Zhao, and like, yeah, your AP damage isn't very like heavy. So like if you go tank Malphite here, that was a great Malphite angle. I really like this draft from Shadow Isles. I think that they answered. They have engaged now onto this Varus and this Karma. They have a lot of like anti-engage from Kaisa and Xin Zhao, and yeah, I just really think that Shadow Isles just won this draft here. It was a very good draft by them, and really I think the only way that Icathia like gets back comes back from this is they just have to hard win this early game. Again, don't know where the Nautilus is going. It might be a lane Nautilus, but it probably is just a lane Karma. Don't know. Yeah, I mean, it could also be like Varus Karma and like Kaisa top and Nautilus mid. You never know like what they could do with this. All these champs can go like anywhere, right? So it's very, very flexible. What they could actually do is make the Kaisa like play more poke oriented, but I mean, again, they got the poke covered with Malphite. Malphite can just engage on all the like poke champs, and then they can just get the fight started with Malphite and Lissandra now, and Poppy. Like now they have like a solid way to get in onto this poke with the Malphite. Malphite really was key in this draft, I think. So yeah, it's gonna be really hard unless like Icathia just out-skirmishes everything in the early game. I just don't see them winning later game team fights with a team against a Poppy, Malphite, Lissandra, like Zeri Lulu. They have to win early game to really make this work. Yeah, Cthulhu's really, really strong support, I think. She has been doing very, very well in this season. So for fun player, we'll have that Lulu pick though. Will be very hard for the Nautilus to go in after like level 6. This Lulu just does so much peeling on her own. Not impossible though. And so it looks like now that I can see
No
on this
cure
team,
for
I guess
fools.
I can see on this team who is picking what. So it is Nautilus support. It's Karma top. Interesting. Karma top. I wonder if they will consider swapping the Malphite to the Varus lane. I think that was what their plan was,
I'll come back stronger.
to play the Malphite against the Varus, which is a good option.
We won't be muzzled.
What did I just hear? Okay. I'm gonna ignore that.
People fear what they cannot understand.
All right, so let's see. It's probably Varus top or Varus mid, and then Karma top, and maybe the Varus goes AP as well, which will be very interesting if they do. When Malphite's picked, Varus might go AP, just do all the magic damage instead of and just not really build into this physical damage, which would make a lot of sense here. Kaisa might also build like some hybrid damage, so just to make sure that Malphite doesn't become unkillable. Because other than Malphite, like their only other tank is really Poppy. So yeah, and Poppy probably will build like Sundered Sky first and won't fully go into resists yet. So yeah, is very another possibility for Icathia to do stuff this game is to actually just build more AP on their champs, like Varus and Kaisa, who have the option to build magic damage in AP. All right, and now we are into spectator delay, so game will start soon. In the meantime, I will be taking a little break, and I will be back right before the game starts. All right, I'm back for the game to start. I'm excited for this game 3. So now the series is tied up 1-1. Let's see if Icathia will prove that one loss at the beginning of game 1 was just a blunder, or if they will actually, or if that, or will Shadow Isles prove that they can actually take another game off of Icathia in this series. I really, really do like Shadow Isles comp. I think the comp is very well rounded. So we'll have to see.
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Alright, it looks like all of the Shadow Isles players are grouping, and both teams are just grouping up in this bush. Wow, they're just going to start fighting at it. Wow, it is a huge chunk, but Karma with the massive shield trading 1-for-1 already. This is insane. Let's see if any more summoner spells will be used. Yep, they will. And wow, this is just chaos. I will assess what happens in this fight after it is all said and done, but it looks like right now, it looks like that Shadow Isles actually took the dub there and got most of the kills. So, yeah, we'll have the Zeri recalling, going back to base, getting some items, and the kills, if we look at this, went to mostly Zeri. Zeri got 3 kills. We'll be able to base get a longsword and a ruby crystal. So that is a lot of gold, and already has a 200 gold shutdown. So should be a very, very huge priority target. It is important to note though that the Kaisa Nautilus will get to run back to lane first. So yeah, also that to consider. The other kill on their team went to the Lysandra, but Varus mid also with 2, and Karma top with 3 assists. So I actually kind of thought that at the beginning of that fight that Karma was going to be able to take it, but evidently not. And look at that, the Colonel combo just getting the kill there, solo kill on the Varus mid. Already got 2 kills, and now is just going to balloon the lead to 1 more kill. So now Varus mid is going to be really, really strong. Let's see, what are we building on this Varus? So far, we just see the bow, so we don't actually see any AP or AD. You could build either one from this item, so yeah, we don't know yet. Alright, Varus is recalling now, got the wave in. Let's see if we get a AP item or an AD item. And it is an AP item, so we are going to get Nashor's Tooth into probably AP Varus. Very good way to answer this Malphite. I mean, AP Varus still requires on hit, so Malphite will do some work, but it won't be as bad as we would have thought if it were like an AD Varus top, right? This is an AP Varus mid. But still though, you have to be scared of the Zeri, who already has 3 kills. This is incredible. And as both junglers complete their clear, they will be going back, and Shinzao's resetting now, got the skull popped, Poppy getting the skull on the other side of the lane, and resetting very late. Both junglers reset not on time. Shinzao is actually will be a little bit on time, but Poppy is very, very slow, and they're both going back to their respawning camps, pathing back to the top lane away from their laners. So yeah, very interesting here. for the pathing choice of the two junglers. Meanwhile, nothing has really happened so far in the top lane, and mid lane, I mean, you already have like a really fed AP Varus mid, so AP Varus mid can just one-shot anyone on the enemy team. Like, fed Zeri, I'll just one-shot you, and like the insane amount of damage that AP Varus does. You ready for this damage? Yeah, this damage is incredible. Yeah, just chunked Lissandra to under half HP with one set of 3 autos and an E. So yeah. Meanwhile, it looks like the Zeri is actually losing even with the amount of kills that he got, but they will kite back and actually will get the kill onto Cthulhu, and the barrier was really good use, but now Caitlyn trying to compensate there, it just doesn't work there. Wow, I cannot, that is actually crazy. I cannot believe that combo just got that kill. That was incredible. That was insane. Off that, the Shinzao will get the Drake because the bot lane had to reset even though they were fed. But Zeri already has a Hexplate at 6 minutes and 18. Already coming back to back with that item at 6 minutes, so that will be very, very, very scary. Imagine trying to all in that, and they just pop ult and run away with Hexplate and just end up kiting out and winning. You just have to be wary. Now, I have to wonder if the bot lane even expects them to have that Hexplate, as Malphite just goes in, uses that combo, but combo's there to clean it up. Won't hold the wave though. The wave will get pushed in anyway, so it is still fine. Lissandra still, will push the lane out and get some prio there, but yeah. Very good and well played by Combo. So really what we have here is a game where it's just like who can be stronger in these fights. Will it be the Zeri with 1 item already, or will it be the AP Varus who is also getting close to the item? Combo doing really, really well in this lane. Got really ahead in that initial like scuffle at level 1. So yeah, gonna be very interesting. Alright, now it looks like both supports are rotating to these grubs that are spawning in 10 seconds, so it really is anyone's possibility, as now even they rotate the Lissandra, who is a little bit behind, to bot lane, and they're really hoping hoping in the Shadow Isles that they can have this oh, nice flash by Sua, but it probably is still just gonna result in Shadow Isles taking the grubs. They teleport the Lissandra in, but Lissandra is just stuck here. Does she have ult? I mean, yeah, she does. So Zeri, really fed, will be able to do a lot of work here, but will it be enough? Will it be more than the Varus? Varus just an ult, remember. So yeah, Zeri is just popping off with this experimental Hexplate. Just so strong, such a big spike, and now Zeri is just super, super fed. 8-0 at 8 minutes. That is almost 1 kill a minute, basically. And they will be able to probably secure this in some of these plates and get the grubs as well. Incredible. Insane. Very, very good plays here. All around by this Zeri. Even another plate is going over, so that is 2 plates for Shadow Isles. And so far, Shadow Isles look really, really dominant this game. They are putting in the work, doing so much. So they also get the grubs, and yeah, they will just reset now. So let's see if Icathia can do anything off this. There's probably not much they can do. Dragon's not up soon, anytime soon, so most they can do is just push up some waves and get some power. Also very important to note, Varus does have the Nashor's Tooth now, so we'll be able to utilize that one item spike. But it was a little bit too late because the grubs are already gone, the Drake isn't up yet, so there isn't really anything to fight for. All Varus can really do with this is just bully out the Lissandra in lane a little bit more. So, yeah. A little bit slower than the Zeri, who just happened to get the item first. He's very ahead. Looks like Kaisa is getting chased by this Zeri Lulu, but is able to get out and kind of wait for Nautilus to come back. And it's just sitting under tower until this happens. Meanwhile, Varus is roaming, trying to make a play here with the item. Maybe can do it. Maybe can actually do it. Uh-oh. It does get hit by the Zeri W, so will be spotted and will just kind of have to back off, and this roam didn't really amount to anything. Yep. Actually, it might be another plate mid lane because of this roam. Even it might have actually been a negative roam. Now Zeri again with the experimental hex plate, just completely gapping the spot lane. What did I just watch? Completely gapping the spot lane, and there's like nothing that they can do. So yeah. Meanwhile, this top lane, you know, it's a Malphite versus Karma. Just one of the most boring lanes of all time. Yeah, with that kill, with that ult, it was a very good play, and now because they played for that kill on the Kaisa right before Drake spawn, their reward is the dragon here. They will get themselves their first dragon with that lead. Unlike last time where they didn't really have tempo to take it, they will just take it this time. And Malphite moving over to this lane means that the Varus will just have to back off because, you know, there is the ult there, but it wasn't backing up far enough. Poppy gets the kill there, as they do just kind of just dive the Varus, but at the same time, they left their 1,000 gold Zeri to die. Zeri didn't respect the fact that nobody was helping Varus, and so, yeah, it is a 1-for-1, but that's a lot of gold that they just got, and guess who got that kill? It's crazy. Pretty sure it was Kaisa who got the kill and got that 1,000 gold shutdown, so very scary, very scary. Kaisa might actually have a way back into this game, but it's still going to be very hard. Zeri Lulu obviously scales so well. Like, I don't think even that amount of gold will be enough to put them back into the game. It is already a 3k gold lead, and the objectives are mostly in favor of Shadow Isles. So yeah, they are in a very, very good spot this game so far. Even with this gold lead, it just kind of seems like, or even with that shutdown gold, it just kind of seems like there's nothing you can do to stop the Zeri Lulu game, or stop the Zeri Lulu from rolling this snowball into the Nexus, and they will probably just win their team this game unless they keep like egregiously like losing their pressure. And I mean, that might just be like leaving Zeri in the lane by herself a couple more times, because if they do that, yeah, I can see a possibility where like they just kind of lose their control of the game. But it seems like Lulu kind of learned her lesson. Like, yeah, it was a good play in the Varus, but I probably don't want to give any more shutdowns from the Zeri, as we will see that we just get the engage combo, we get the free kill on Lissandra, and yeah, they will just push up mid. Zeri and Lulu will rotate to cover, but not really much more happening. The Rift Herald is spawning soon, so Kaisa isn't there, and wow, we just get the Malphite solo kill. Very, very well played. as this Karma is just getting bullied. It's a little weird that we are. Oh no, it's an overextension by Ontario as they might actually get the kill on this Zeri. Wow, Zeri just like kind of throwing away the lead, taking fights that we are not allowed to take here. Lissandra is dead. You just have numbers at disadvantage, and you just have to be careful in that timer. The Herald just spawned, but they're not going for it. They're going to respect the fact that Lissandra is back, and they're just going to reset instead. Rift Herald being up is like the only objective right now, so both teams probably will be playing for this. You can see that Zeri is pathing up in red side jungle. Lissandra is here. Malphite is mid, but Malphite I'm pretty sure has teleport. Yes, it does, so Malphite can always rotate over. Meanwhile, they have Kai'Sa in the bot lane, and guess what? Kai'Sa does not have teleport. Kai'Sa has a barrier, so they're clearly not going to play for this Herald. As soon as the Kai'Sa is revealed in this lane, then yeah, it's probably cooked. So yeah, in the meantime, it looks like Bishop is actually getting caught by this bot lane. Nala's got a kind of a flank off, so Malphite will just die. But also Varus dying on the other side of the map, getting caught out by this Poppy combo, and so they still will have numbers for the Herald. There is no way that Icathia can contest this at all. They're just melting it with the Zeri damage, and yeah, that is just Herald for Shadow Isles. But in the trade is that Kai'Sa will get a tower. You know, I was saying that Kai'Sa was super behind, but Kai'Sa got shut down, Kai'Sa got another catch, Kai'Sa got a tower, and you know, maybe putting all this gold and funneling it all into the Kai'Sa isn't the worst idea. That was a little bit of a missed ult by Zhao. Didn't really get any value off of it, and so as a result, it seems like we will just have a team fight win for Shadow Isles. Like, there's no way you can get onto Zeri. Zeri is just outputting so much damage, and there is just nothing that they Icathia can really do here. Yeah, Ontario playing this fight beautifully. Their entire team is playing this fight beautiful, playing it very, very hard front to back, just keeping the Zeri alive, keeping the Zeri in check, and they will just earn themselves a dragon off that team fight win. Played. Maybe Combo tries to go for something here. I mean, AP Varus does have the ult spread, but they do have vision of him, so they need to be careful. I mean, Combo did get like a kill off of it. Almost killed Zeri there too. That Varus damage is just so much. There's a lot of damage on that Varus, but it seems like they will still go for this dragon. I mean, they have to be careful. There is the teleport coming in. Varus did do a lot of damage and stop the dragon, so oh wow, mispositioning there. I don't know if they saw that TP or not, but yeah, they just like, Zeri just got shut down, so it might be a really big turnaround. Kai'Sa getting another shutdown, so really, really huge. Kai'Sa is actually getting multiple shutdowns and getting back into this game, and they have an AP Varus who does a lot of damage as well, so they aren't completely screwed, but they have to pick their fights very carefully. They can't just team fight like they did in that last scenario where they just kind of just got demolished and wrecked. But if they go for picks like this when people are out of position, they can absolutely get more kills onto this Kai'Sa and kind of win through that, right? So they have to pick and choose their fights carefully. But if they do, they can actually, there is a chance that they can win this game. Meanwhile, people are just getting their resets in, clearing some vision, you know, doing all the normal things that you have to do in between these objective timers. You have Xin Zhao kind of like resetting as well. Lissandra getting away in bot, and they're just kind of like, yeah, clearing some vision, and maybe we're starting to think about where Otacon will be and setting up for that as well. clear vision and control the bottom side of the map. Otacon will be spawning soon in 20 seconds. It's interesting to see if they will just rush it. I mean, they definitely do want to force a team fight because team fights is where their team will really, really stand out and just do a lot of work. I just don't see the Icathia team just doing nearly as much damage in these like full 5v5 because of how much peel and protection on this really fed Zeri that the Shadow Isles have. So they have to pick and choose their moments. So yeah, they are grouping as 5. They're choosing to just not really care about top prio at all, and they are just going and looking at this Otacon. Like, I'm surprised that nobody is sidelining top at all. It just seems very different from what Icathia usually does. Icathia usually has like Sua pressuring these side lane waves, but you gotta also think about the fact that it is getting like a little bit later in the day, and so for some of these people in the Eastern time zone, it might just be like getting a little bit tired. Nice flash reaction. Malphite will be getting chunked, and I don't know though, it seemed like a wasted Lulu ult and a very good pick. You're not playing these fights front to back on the Malphite. You're just trying to like look for a random engage instead, and because of that, now it actually looks like Icathia who's gonna start the objective. They could still look for a fight, but no Lulu ult makes it a lot more vulnerable. A wasted Nautilus's ult too. Very good Lissandra ult, just kind of putting him in the middle, and they will still get the Otacon, fortunately, but they did lose a couple of players, and their HP bars are a little bit low, so they have to be a little bit careful here. But still, I think overall this was a huge misplay by Shadow Isles. They had like such a good front to back comp, and then their Malphite just decided to ult in and just kind of like throw the Otacon away, because you ult in like that, like even if you do land the ult, you still probably die, and then now you don't really have a way to go in. And again, they're just like trying to go in and not like play it front to back. They're just trying to run in and look for these engages, and you don't even have your Malphite here. You're just walking into your death. So yeah, very curious as to why they're doing this when they have this super strong Zeri. They're really not playing to enable this Zeri at all. They're just like, oh, let's just try to like get this like one little kill. And yeah, Zeri's probably just wondering, why are y'all going in without me? What is this? What are you doing? So yeah, pretty interesting. If this keeps up, then there is a non-zero chance that Icathia can come back and win this game, because Varus is getting super strong. Varus is like one-shotting these players. Like, Varus did so much damage last fight, so you gotta be very, very scared of that. And that is exactly what Varus is looking for, by the way. Varus is looking for somebody to just like go in and do something stupid. Also worth noting that Kaisa is building a lot of AP. It's Kraken Slayer into Rage Blade into what seems to be a Zonius Hourglass. So yeah, Kaisa also specking into some AP. So yeah, this Malphite building full armor, not going to be actually that tanky. So this is worth noting. Did build Frozen Heart though, which will prevent some of the like attack speed as like plays. But yeah, this is much more of the kind of fight that we should be expecting from the Shadow Isles, where they just kind of like group up like this, look for these fights, and like, yeah, this is exactly kind of what they're looking for. Zeri is just going to do so much damage. I'll put so much damage in this fight. Even with like them playing this fight so well, yeah, Zeri just takes over this fight, and it is just a free fight for them. They will go 4 for 3, and Shadow Isles just takes the dragon, takes the fight, and Zeri is even more fed than before. Zeri is just going to really take over, and this is what they need to keep doing. They need to keep fighting like this. They also get a tower off this too, but they have to keep fighting like this, or else they will probably just lose the game. So very, very well played. Playing that front to back fight is massive for them. Okay, they get the reset. And it's looking pretty good. Alright, Baron is now about to spawn, and I wanted to see, will they just immediately start a fight again, or will they take it slow? Again, Malphite should not go in until Zeri is here. Like, Atomic Ghost is going in too, but they don't really have their Zeri yet. Zeri's probably like, why are you all fighting without me? You're just throwing your life away. I'm like all the kills on this team. What are you doing? So, yeah, they're... Oh, but now we have Xin Zhao going in. Does have the ult, so can prevent a little bit of damage, but I think this was a little bit of an overextend. And Cthulhu might die. I mean, Zeri is just getting to output tons of damage and just like kind of keep them off. Like, if they didn't go for this, they would be full HP right now, would get the wave in. But now, because they didn't, Shadow Isles actually gets control of this Baron pit. They get to like spot out some vision and like take control, even though they're down a player because of the health bar differences on this team. Again, fully grouping though, so have to be concerned about that. But Malphite still being tanky, even with the full armor build against these like magic damage dealing areas. But yeah, Malphite doesn't really have a way to go in right now. No ult yet, so we'll just kind of help clear the wave here. And as we see Icathia just recall, take their resets. And now Zeri is back onto the mid lane. And I wonder, they're sending their Lysandre, just teleporting here. So they might just look to take the Baron right now. We will see though. They're looking in the bush. They're looking for a pick, but nobody is walking. Oh, now they're walking. They're interested. They did like not go into the bush, so it looks like they're looking for the pick onto combo. I mean, this is fine. Like when one person is caught out like this, that is when like this kind of pick is okay. And Varus is so much of that damage and on Icathia's team that now they should be confident to start the Baron here, and that's what they will do. My bad. Sorry. In the meanwhile, Icathia does get something in return. They did just brute force the turret. They didn't even care. They didn't need the minion wave. It was pretty low, so, you know, it was expected, but yeah. It's worth noting that they did get something back. They will rotate everyone on their team to bot lane. But in the meantime, Shadow Isles just really just getting the push in mid lane. They're brute force pushing mid lane. Wow. I mean, Icathia is looking a lot more rusty today than they usually do. They usually play really, really well and choke their opponents out of resources, but it just looks like right now, like, this is just very unlucky at the beginning of the game. They lost a lot to their Zeri, and honestly, like, even though they're playing the fights very well, it's just that the Zeri is just so strong. Like, there's not really much they can do. Yeah. Alright, Icathia is able to get some control over this dragon pit while the Shadow Isles recalled, but we'll see if they actually can convert this into a dragon. Dragon obviously starting to spawn really soon, and it's good that they have control, because the one way that you make this team like really like pressured is you make the Zeri Lulu team engage onto you. All they really have is Malphite, and Malphite is just pushing mid. Malphite's not there, Poppy is not there, so they will just get this dragon for free and probably will get this whole point. They are giving up a little bit of space though. They will still get it, and they actually engage onto the Lysandre. Lysandre will be able to make some time, I think, but nope. They're just resetting. They're trying to answer this Malphite, who is just getting the inhib solo. Yeah, he probably won't be able to end the game or anything like that. Like, definitely not. And meanwhile, obviously, Zeri is just doing Zeri things, just killing everyone. And Malphite wasn't really able to like actually be like, you know, like an actual threat to end the game because it's a tank top laner. They're like not gonna do significant damage to any of these towers. So yeah, Malphite is going to do a little bit though. Worth noting, he does have Kanik Rooker now, so we'll be able to tank more of this like AP damage from all these AP carries. But yeah, still a little bit scary, especially with that really fed Zeri. Oh, does get hit by the Varus ult, but unfortunately Varus was not able to get the piercing arrow off. It just wasn't in time. Malphite doing a great job canceling that ability and canceling that channel, and it just looks like Shadow Isles will from here just kind of win the game. No Varus equals no damage, and yeah, they will have an easier time. Lulu ulting the Zeri, making sure that Zeri can live in this fight, and Zeri should have ult now. Yep, there it is. Zeri has the ult, polymorph on the Xin Zhao, and yeah, it's looking really cooked here. Looks like they won't be able to defend this anymore. We have to have Kaisa Zonias, and they are trying their best, but it's just too much. The Zeri is just too strong, and they will end this game. And wow, like, I can't believe it. Icathia is just looking so mortal right now. Shadow Isles completely just dominating this game, starting from level 1, starting from that early game invade. So yeah, I don't really know why Suwa was going on the Karma. It just doesn't seem like a champion that he would normally play in games like this. Like, he usually likes playing these proxy and split pushing top, so he just decided to pick Karma top for whatever reason. Yeah, that was a very interesting game. But even though Shadow Isles had a couple of slip ups in the fighting where they just tried to go in one by one, or like the Malphite would just try to engage without the Zeri, they did end up bringing it back, playing around that Zeri, and getting the win. So very well played by Shadow Isles. Icathia on the brink of losing a game and having to play in the losers finals, as Shadow Isles puts them into match point. So very interesting, because this Icathia team has looked so dominant all season, and it might be that they actually have a chance of losing. They might actually not be able to close out this game, so or close out this tournament. We'll see though, as there are possibly 2 more games left for them. They have 2 chances, basically, to, or they have 2 chances. They need to win these next 2 games in order to continue on and make it to the finals from the winner's side. Let's see what is going on in the chat, in the spectator lobby. Probably also need some water at some point. I'm going very throat is getting very dry. It's casting. This is my first time casting, and really does do a number on your throat, especially when you're going on your own without a second caster. Yeah. All right. Looks like both teams are saying that they are ready, so we will commence game 4. We see that Shadow Isles is taking blue side this game, and Icathia is taking red side, and the bans will probably be the same for the first round as they were in the last couple of games. Expecting the Volley Bear KO, Erdinger being banned, the Jinx being banned, just normal 3 bans that they all know and love. They hate. They know that these picks are really, really strong. So yeah, they are just banning this stuff out. They're trying to encourage each other to leave picks open, but yeah, they can't do that. So let's see. Let's see how this draft continues. What are some of the prio picks? Are they going to pick a jungler or are they going to pick something else? Can see what is left based on this. I think we need to improve this, by the way. I said they picked Sivir, very safe ADC, also very, very late game focus, can carry those games. Worked very well last time with the Zeri, but Sivir doesn't have nearly as much carry potential, but does have very good survivability, good wave clear. The spell shield is very nice, so it's a very resilient pick. And then the follow-up is the Lucian Nami, the very classic Lucian draft. It's been overshadowed by things like Lucian Braum recently, but always very good to just see that Lucian Nami. It's a very good lock-in, especially against a really safe pick like Sivir. Can do a lot of work and just burst this kind of champion down. Nami also does very well against other enchanters, so if Sivir wanted to be paired with an enchanter, it might be a little bit less of a justification to do that. You might want something else. So we see that the jungler will pick the Ivern, and this might open up the support to go engage here, right? Into this Lucian Nami. Maybe something that's a little bit protecty, some sort of Braum option or something like that. But we will see what they go here. No hovers yet, but I'm expecting a support pick here, given that the Icathia has picked their hot lane. Yep, and there's the Braum as expected. Can block a lot of this Lucian Nami damage and works very well with the Sivir here. Is just allowing Sivir to slowly scale up in the game and allowing the Ivern to be the enchanter pick that the Sivir really wants to have. So yeah, very, very good option here. And then we see the Jax being picked top, so I'm assuming they're going to start banning top laners here that counter the Jax normally. Maybe things like Gragas if they play Gragas on the other side on Shadow Isles. But yeah, things like that are pretty good to ban here. So again, we see the Syndra ban. Syndra's been very highly banned, and then Amumu. Here is just one of the classic just picks that anyone can play. Very good team fighting and can do a lot of work. So yeah, Nefiri, Gangplank. Gangplank also a very just solid option that they will pick in Shadow Isles. Just their top laner plays a lot of Gangplank. So yeah, makes sense that they would ban that. Now let's see, how does this draft continue? We need some frontline for the Lucian Nami eventually later in the game. It might be a good idea, especially when you have a Sivir and with the peeling from a Braum and an Ivern. And there it is. It's the Cassante. Combos Cassante is very well known. It's a very good option. It's also pretty blindable. So yeah, that also means that the Jax might not be going top lane. Jax might be the jungler Jax into the Ivern. I don't really know if I like that matchup, but Cassante is always very solid, so it was a good trick to get the Cassante out into this comp. And now we see the Mel. Mel's also very back, so they're playing again very front to back, just like last game. Shadow Isles will do the front to back thing, and then Garen, yeah, very classic counter matchup into the Cassante. Garen just kind of shreds, makes it so if Cassante ults, then he's basically just gonna die to Garen ult. So it makes it very hard for Cassante to play the lane. And then what is the final pick here? Let's see. This is the R5 pick, and it is Jarvan. Jarvan is very good into the Sivir and the Mel because Jarvan just kind of ults into them and makes their life miserable. They will be stuck in there, and Lucian and Nami will be able to, Lucian will be able to ult, Jax will be able to go in. The only problem I see with this Jarvan though is how do you get through the Iron Shield? How do you get through the Brahm's resist, extra resist? Braum can go in and help support this whoever gets ulted by Jarvan, and so it actually might be a little bit of an issue. And again, I just really like Shadow Owl's comp better here. I think that they have favorable matchups in their top lane, and they have a good game plan and team and ability to team fight. Yes, Lucian Nami is a very aggressive lane, and yes, Cassante is just very annoying to deal with, but I just don't think the Jarvan's going to be too useful later on in the game. And I also just think that the Jax, which now we know is going mid lane, is going to be very useful into the mill. I just don't see it. So, yeah.
You have the heart of a weakling.
That is how I assess this draft.
I'll be funneling.
And we'll see if Shadow Isles can actually take a game, or can take the series here with this draft, which I think is very favorable for them. They should be able to, but you never know. Anything could happen.
I see you lack judgment.
Ah, come on. What's the worst that could happen?
I'm absolutely livid.
Who questions my ability?
Alright, sorry about that. I need to go get some like water and stuff like that to continue, but yeah.
People fear what they cannot understand. We won't be muzzled.
I'll come back stronger.
Alright, hopefully we can get this game started soon. We'll see the picks being locked in. Let's see, last pick. Yeah, it is getting pretty late, so should hurry these up. Just going into some more thoughts, like just need to how does each one of these teams win? So Icathia, with their really heavily early game focused draft, they really have to win the bot lane in the early game. They have really strong ganks with the Jarvan and the Lucian Nami. They should be able to do work against this bot lane as long as Ivern isn't there. So they have to choose their windows well. If not, then like again, it'll just be another one of those Shadow Isles gets their front to back fights. They get to play as a team, group up as 5, and really just like take over this game through their Sivir and their Meld, because really, if like in the later stages of the game, Jarvan will, if Jarvan tries to ult them, it won't matter. Like Ivern and Braum will just make them unkillable basically. So yeah, it'll just provide so much peel with the Daisy and the tankiness that the Braum provides. With this protection, like from Lucian's the Culling, like Braum will just hold up a shield and say, no, you actually can't hurt my backline. So yeah, as the spectator delay goes down, I will be taking a pause and I'll be back when the game starts. All right, we are about to start this game. I am back. I'm ready. I got some water. Yeah, let's go. See what these teams are going to offer. Are we going to get to the Silver Scrapes game 5 or is it just done here? We'll see. We will see. All right. Well, these teams are going off, and unlike last game, we are getting a standard start, a 5-point. Remember, last game was really crazy. Everyone just decided to group up in the bottom side and just go at it, and it was chaos. And this game is not like that last game, so this game will actually be really chill. Seems like it's just kind of relaxed starting. And yeah, nothing insanely big is going to happen. Want to see where everyone starts as well. Ivern's gonna do that weird Ivern thing where they clear and then they go back and clear again. So yeah, that champion is very weird, but yeah, we will see what occurs. All right. So you can fast forward the game a little bit. fast forward this a little bit, just to keep up with as fast of time as possible. Let's go through this initial lane a little bit. And then we will be to live, as close to live as possible. Alright, so we actually have the Cassante mid. I mean, yeah, Combo is a mid laner, so that makes sense. He will be going Cassante mid. And, yeah, and then there's the Jax top into the Garen instead. So, that makes a little bit of sense. Yeah, we will do want the Jax top, but, yeah, as we can see, the Braum just protecting the Shimmer, making it a little bit hard to play. And maybe even, like, getting a kill on this. The concussive blows will be procced off, but Braum is just taking too much damage, has to flash away, and maybe even a kill. But wow, these bot laners are trading super hard on each other. And oh wow, that Sivir Q just hit them both and left them so low HP. But they are trying to get this wave out. They are staying. They are playing with fire here. I mean, you want to be really careful in this Sivir Braum lane that has more health. They ran out of potions as well, so yeah. That was a really good trade though right there. So got some things going for them. Meanwhile, the Garen doing super well instead of the Jax. It is still a very favorable lane for Garen, but wow. Nice gank by the Jarvan, pathing down. And actually even getting there before Ivern does. That is not supposed to happen. Ivern is always supposed to be there earlier than the Jarvan. Ivern has a really fast clear if done correctly. So now Ivern will have to give up the scuttle, and the Lucianami will get the first kills. Or well, I mean they won't get the kills, but they will get the assists on the kills, and Jarvan will get a very substantial lead here. So very good start from the Icathia here. I mean, this is exactly what they need to do to win this game. They need to make sure that their early game is solid on the Lucianami and bully out the lane in the early game. And even as well, the Jax getting a takedown on the Garen, so Sua doing some work. If I remember correctly, the phase rush build is where you go AP on Jax, so it's very likely that Sua will be building AP here as well. So that's something else to keep in mind. So you might be thinking, oh, doesn't the Icathia's team not have any AP? But actually they do. Their Jax is AP. And both junglers are just pathing down again. Again, the Ivern's clear really weird. Doing the weird like clear where you take all the camps with your Ivern passive, but yeah. Garen is clearing down normally, of course, and or Jarvan is clearing down normally, of course, and meanwhile Sua is getting that level 6, getting that cryo in the lane as expected, taking the lead, and Jarvan is going to be having the cryo on the rig. So far it's looking very good for the for Icathia, as they will be up 1.2k gold, and they're even able to deny this proxy from Sua, or actually Shadow is able to deny the proxy from Sua, but he does have phase rush, so you know he can kind of maneuver his way out, but you know we still have that Garen ult, and that is a kill onto Sua. He wasn't able to fully get out, as Garen was able to cut him off from going and running away. So yeah, very good return kill and a very good trade for the Shadow Isles after losing Drake. It was a good return. That was a good answer. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, I mean, you know, they're doing their thing. Jarvan still has the lane gank, so he's waiting for them to make a play, but he did actually show there was that little patch of vision on those minions, and so they did actually notice that Jarvan was going on, and then they left. Let's see if they still play passive. I mean, Jarvan is reset, so they should know that they're supposed to play passive here. Meanwhile, we're getting the flash. Cassante went all in and wasn't able to get the kill, but did get the flash, so that is still good. As also very important for Grubs. That means that Mel will not have flash for Grubs, which means that Jarvan can play with his ult cooldown. You know, the ult on Jarvan against the flashless Mel is going to be very strong. At the same time, you still have this Garen pick countering the Jax. Even with the Jax kill, Garen just kind of wins, right? Garen is really strong into Jax, so... Garen's also doing work to this Jarvan. I don't really know why he fought that. Now he has to burn flash, and they re-engage, but it's Garen. Like, Garen is so strong, but wasn't strong enough to get that kill. Actually did get the Ignite off, and we still have Daisy to kill this Jarvan. Like, Daisy is just super strong, and Jarvan gets shut down by Ivern. Ivern is a super important part. Like, yeah, Ivern isn't like a big like hyper carry with that gold, but you know, getting that shutdown will just make the shields that much bigger onto the Sivir, right? That much bigger onto the Mel. Will keep their backline alive in those later fights, and will definitely not be negligible. You will definitely notice this Ivern being really impactful with shutdowns like that, right? So yeah, very well played. Using those numbers and getting that shutdown on the Jarvan, and now Shadow Owls are actually starting to stabilize this. Jarvan shut down, Jax getting killed a couple of times by the Garen. Like, this is very good for the Shadow Owls, and might actually lead them to a game 4 win. So we'll have to see if they can keep this up and further stabilize the game. The one issue though is that Lucian Nami are like slightly stronger. I mean, the Sivir does have more CS than the Lucian, as to be noted, and the Braum also, you know, has 5 more of those stacks on minions as well. So that is true, but we see Lucian getting plates, and so it is actually pretty even bot lane. And Lucian Nami will have a really strong mid lane game when they can start like one-shotting people with Lucian ult in their combo, right? So that's where I think the Lucian Nami combo nowadays really shines. It's like, yeah, their early game is really strong, but their mid game, they can do serious damage, especially with Jarvan, right? So they're not counted to be counted out here. Alright, so now as we approach the timer when the second dragon is going to be up, we can see that the Sivir Braum are trying to fight for Prio, and at the same time the Ivern is going and clearing the jungle and pathing down there as well. So both junglers looking to impact this bottom side of the map, and we just kind of have the Cassante as well getting the push and trying to play for this actually solo kill. Wow, what a very aggressive attempt by the Cassante here, but I don't think it'll be enough. And so yeah, this was a very big blunder by the Cassante. I think it was too early to dive the Mel. Mel still had reflect cooldown up, and so yeah, it doesn't really work out there. So now even the Mel getting some stakes into this game, being able to get that kill, and right before dragon spawn too. I mean, she will respawn, and Cassante and Mel will be kind of coming out at the same time, but having that item advantage will be very helpful, right? We are seeing that bot lane is really strong, and it's going to be a 3v3. We have Braum doing Braum things, but it might not actually be enough. This Jarvan Lucian is so strong. I was saying Lucian Nami, but we have Mel spending the teleport and getting to this play. Very important for getting control here. And Jax, wow, almost getting solo killed there. Might actually die, but is able to leap to that flower. Very unlucky for Garen. Garen did have the ult there, so wasn't able to use it. But yeah, Garen definitely taking control of this Jax lane, doing a very good job here. But still, it looks like despite the Mel teleport, they were actually able to get, Icathia is able to get control of this Drake. And they are actually to take the second Drake because it does seem like Shadow Isles is super low on HP, so they might still get this Cassante low. I don't think they will actually kill because Jarvan is here, and I don't think Mel still doesn't have flash, right? So no, Mel has flash again, so hopefully that is fine. So they will just back off. Nothing that needs to be traded. Not enough to kill though on the Garen, but it will chunk Jax out again, and Jax will just have to leave the lane again. It's very, very oppressive, this Garen pick, and because you're building AP Jax, you don't have as much health. You're building Nashor's Tooth, so you're not as durable, you're not as tanky, so you have to consider that when you're playing into a Garen, right? Garen's very good at screwing over champions without any durability because he can just shred through them with his E and then just go for the ult. And it looks like though, while Garen is breeding for plates, Jarvan is able to make a play. I don't know how much they'll be able to do, but yeah, it just seems like Garen is going to die here. Very well played by the Jarvan. Another very successful gank, and we'll make sure that the Jax has a way to play out this game. Jax doing okay, has the CS lead, but you know, losing in plates, right? Has gotten killed a couple of times as well. Meanwhile, Sivir and Braum are actually getting pushed into the Lucian Nami right now. They're getting some plates down, so just expanding on that gold lead in the bot lane, having so much CS. Sivir is so good at farming minions and farming camps, and this is just going to be really hard. They spotted the Jarvan in top lane ganking the Garen, and they were like, alright, we know that we can push up here, we know that we can take plates, and there's basically nothing they can do about it. Jarvan's not there to help them, so yeah, this is a very good move on the bot lane, and yeah, as much as the Jarvan ganking the Garen was a good play, it also makes it super hard for them to do anything. Like, yeah, now Jarvan's just going in 1v2, just having to burn flash, and yeah, I think this is a huge mistake from the jungler's spot of things. Like, yeah, the gank was good on the Garen, but what do you get from it? Like, not much. Garen's still taking your tower right now, and meanwhile, like, bot lane just got completely screwed over because they know that the jungler is not there, right? So, yeah, this is really bad for Icathia, and we can now see that Shadow Isles has a substantial gold lead. They have a 1.6k gold lead now. So yeah, it will be very annoying for them. We can see the Cassante with the Magic Shield. The Kanik Rooker is online. And then he decided to go into the Garen, but you know, he's still Cassante. He can still keep that lane up and running. So next objective obviously is Rift Herald, and it's pretty obvious that it will be gotten by the Shadow Isles. They will have complete control with the Iron Pushers, and they will just get this Herald for free. But it might not be for free. They're getting collapsed on both sides. You see that Mel is bot lane, so they are just at a numbers disadvantage. But Garen does get the quick kill out, but they won't have enough skill to stop this. So Jax is solo going in on everyone and just completely dominating the fight. So they actually do get the win after Shadow Isles gets the Herald. You see that Mel just decided to go bot lane instead of helping, and because she did that, they were able to, Icathia was able to win this fight on the Herald side after the death. So very well played by Icathia, getting something back in the game and evening out the gold lead. Again, they have 2 Drakes, so they can also play for that soling condition as well.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
In addition, they're getting a tower in the top lane. Their Lucian getting more fed. 2-0 at this point, very strong. And Lucian Nami, like I was saying, they're really strong mid game where they can start rotating and just doing so much damage, output so much damage, and like, just be able to do ludicrous amounts of damage in these like skirmishes, mid game skirmishes like that Herald fight. So mentioned, Nami, is something to look out for. They're very strong. Meanwhile, we see Sua trying to 1v2 with the ult, but like, I don't know if he's gonna be able to do it. Oh wow, the really, really late ult pop from Ontario Beetle. So they won't really be able to get anything here. Maybe if they popped ult a little bit earlier, they actually would have been fine. And they pull people onto this mid lane play, but not really getting anything off of it though. They spent a TP as well, but yeah, they weren't able to actually do anything like that. And now we see Garen is just doing Garen things again. Is able to get out there and does actually kind of pull up a 1v2. And the problem with this is that because they sent 2 tops, yes, Garen is dead, but they lose their Drake soul in time. They lose that 3rd Drake and that soul point, and so this just basically means that Shadow Isles is slowing down the game. And when you have a Mel and a Sivir, this is exactly what you want to do. You have such a good scaling team. You have that Ivern, Sivir, and Mel, and you have the ability to really, really just play front to back super, super hard. I know I've been saying a lot about the Shadow Isles team, but this is what they like to do. They like to play those front to back team fights and really dominate in those types of fights. So yeah, we will play by them. Alright, so as this mid-game progresses, let's see, what are we looking for here? I mean, from the perspective of the Shadow Isles, they kind of want to keep this game slow and make sure that they play their fights front to back. Group up for these objectives, get vision control, and they want the enemy team to engage into them and then turn the fight and counter-engage with that Braum, that Ivern. This is like what they've been doing in all their other fights, but yeah, Garen also just shredding, playing for these side lanes. He's able to do a lot of work, but maybe not enough. Wow, that Garen just killed the Cassante and actually ends up trading 1-for-1 there. And Mel is getting to freely push out the side lane. But we will see that Otacon is going to spawn on the top side, so that'll also be something that we need to consider here. Sua is actually finally doing the thing. Unlike on the Karma pick last game, Sua is actually taking tower this time and really making this game hard to play. So yeah, we also see that Lucian using his polling, doing chunking out the Cinder, but it will have to back up as the Ivern and the Braum engage is a little bit strong, but like, where's the follow-up? Sivir was way far back, but Jarvan going in on his own, not really able to do much there. That was a really crazy ult by Jarvan. Obviously, there was no follow-up there. They just used everything, so yeah, that is a little bit hard to do. And in the meantime, Garen is just chasing down the Jack. Won't be able to chase him too far, but it is worth knowing. It did happen. Oh wow, this Lucian just got completely blasted by the mill, so that's another thing. So Shadow Isles just getting these kills, getting some momentum in this game, and will actually be able to find their way back into this, getting these team fights off and actually being able to scale into the later stages of the game. We'll play to Shadow Isles here. They might actually be able to pull off this win on game 4 again and upset the team that throughout this entire season has just been dominating. Garen getting the kill on Cassante, just doing so much here, and they're just going to be down a person for this Otacon here. So we do see that they are looking at this Otacon play. I mean, that was a really risky engage by the Ivern. Sivir actually decided to go in, but seeing that they do have numbers advantage, they will actually look to make this quick. Combo isn't up, but Combo does have teleport, and he is spawning right now, so he will probably look to teleport here. They have sending everybody in. Garen is flanking though, but Jax has to flash away. Jax completely messed up the engage, and so, oh, both sides are getting really, really chunked, and the fight goes in. The Jarvan is engaging, and because they're taking Otacon, because Shadow Isles is taking Otacon, they're just getting completely destroyed in this fight, and Lucian gets a quadra kill off that. Insane turnaround by the Icathia. They really came back here and just really played it very clutch on this Otacon fight. I mean, yeah, I just don't think that Shadow Isles accounted for the fact that Cassandra had TP when he was respawning. So, yeah, very, very well played by Icathia on this fight. And Lucian is now going to be a serious problem. Also, with the Serpent's Fang, will cut Ivern's shielding as well. This is going to be very annoying for Shadow Isles. Now what's next? Next is up is Dragon, and it is just spawning in. Cassante is just gonna catch the Braum. Maybe the Braum has the flash, but look, Braum doesn't even have anything. Braum doesn't have the flash, and there it is, another kill, and Dragon is just going to be given to Icathia, and they now have their point. Atomic Ghost going in for no reason. Oh my god, what was that? We can't be doing this. Yeah, Icathia is really coming back this game and showing that they don't want to go out like this, especially when they had such a good season. They don't want to lose to Shadow Isles on game 4, so this might just be a 5-game. This just might be 5 games. We don't know yet. Oh, the bowling there. Good job on Lucian, using that incredible lead to just completely just destroy the Silver Sunflower and just 100-0 her. So, yeah, very well played. This Lucian pick is, this Lucian Nami is showing why Lucian Nami has been such a popular lane for so long. Just dominating this lane. Oh, Garen catching the Nami out, but too much healing. So yeah, Garen will just die there. And as you can see, Icathia is just getting pushed in this bot lane. This is what Sua loves doing. Loves getting these split pushing, drawing attention of people, and then just running out. And then meanwhile, we see that with the numbers advantage that Sua created, Icathia is just gonna push the mid tower down. They are going to get mid tower. Which they won't. They don't have a wave. So, yeah, they won't actually be able to on this wave. Very wasted Braum out there, but they do have the prio for the Baron right now. They just pushed in mid, and so they probably will be looking for this Baron play. Sorry about that. Yeah. They're actually looking for a pick here. So they're waiting for like a Mel to show up or somebody like a Sivir to show up, although Sivir was seeing bot. But now they're just starting the Baron. They're not even going to try to get contested. So yeah, there goes the Baron. And yeah, it just looks like Shadow Isles is not able to contest this at all. Just Icathia's Baron for free, basically. And now, like, you know, before Bishop was doing really well into this matchup, but now, because of all those deaths and everything, you even see Jax is actually now just like ahead in CS, ahead in levels, ahead in everything. So yeah, Jax actually really strong here and will not be able to be bullied by this Garen anymore. That time has passed. And Jax is kind of like outscaled this Garen in this point in the game. We see that Jarvan is trying to fight this Garen, and yeah, they're kind of, the Garen, you know, Garen is Garen, he will be able to get out, so yeah, not much gonna happen because of that, but it is wasting a lot of their Baron buff time, so yeah, not really able to get too much off this Baron buff. They are pushing mid wave right now, but yeah, we'll see. Alright, so was trying to look, but wasn't really able to. They're actually going to look on Sua. They actually landed the Mel root, so they were actually able to hit that. But it wasn't enough. It wasn't quite enough to get the Mel ult. Mel ult range. But that was great play for fun player. Able to use that Braum effectively. And now look at this fight. This fight is going a lot differently than it was before. This fight was actually like favored for the Shadow Isles, even though they're so behind. They're actually able to still get some weapons in this game. They have such good team fighting with their front to back with Braum and Ivern and stuff like that. And this is the exact type of fight again that they really want in this game. They've been doing this all series long, where they've been playing this hard front to back and like winning some of those fights. And whenever they don't do that, whenever they get picked, it's a disaster. Whenever they do this way, they just win the fights, and now they might actually prevent Soul here. Like Garen keeping Lucian away from this dragon. They have the iron bushes to keep him away. And now Jarvan, if he wants to go in, he's just going in blinds. They don't have any vision of this pit. And so, yeah, they just can't do that. So, yeah, they will just give the dragon here. But we do have Cassante on the flank. Cassante is looking for something, but we do get the flashes out, and so they will be able to be saved. Even Meld with the root will just be able to get away and help away. Alright, we do see that the Shadow, or that Icathia is just pushing in, getting the second turret, finally from the mid lane, but they aren't really actually able to do much from it. They're just like saving their stuff, and you know, Garen using Ignite, but not able to get that much off of it. And, you know, definitely looking for anything that they can. But, oh my god, we just got the Cassante insect, the kidnap, and that might just be the game right there. Mel dead, Garen dead, and they just got the wave in, but they did use a lot. They have to be careful. There's a chance that Sivir can just clear this wave, and they will have another chance at this game, but probably not. Actually, yeah, they will just back off. We'll back off. They know that they can't end the game yet because Sivir just clears the wave out. So actually, they're not backing off. They're staying kind of like aggressive and posturing up still. They are looking for more, but they're now realizing, yeah, we should actually just reset. We want to get control of this Baron that's going to be spawning soon. So, yeah, that's what they will do. They got the inhib, which is very important, so that the mid wave pushes for this Baron. And then at the end of the day, they just need to team fight very well. They just need to really play around their illusion. Their illusion's really strong, and you know, combo with the Jarvan. If you can get somebody locked in Jarvan cage and then have illusion ult like hit them for their entire health bar, then that even like the Braum might just die from that. It's just that much damage. So that is what they should be looking for in this game for sure. Meanwhile, like of course the team with Ivern and Braum should always be looking for these front-to-back fights. Even when they were so behind, they were still able to keep the Icathia away and just like not allow them to end the game or not allow them to get pushed in the bot lane. So yeah, they really want to keep going with that kind of team and that kind of style that they've been so successful with this entire series. I mean, at this point, Garen probably won't do much damage to either Jax or the Cassante, but, you know, I mean, Ivern getting out the ult is very good. Like, this is very useful, and, like, you know, Jax, I kind of thought that Jax was looking a little bit caught there, but actually not. He's just using phase rush, buying the time, getting some of these cooldowns in. Oh no, that's a cooldown. It's a Braum ult. Or the Braum shield. But wow, they're fighting in the collapse choking point, front to back again, and they are just losing. Jarvan going in on his own, not really able to do much here, and just dying. Wow. But Sua getting the flank off. They need to be careful. Sua might just be in a little bit of trouble. Oh, wait. They just killed Lucian. And look, the Garen is actually taking over this fight. But yeah, he was actually able to take over that fight. Incredible that even with this flank from Sua, they were still able to win this. But you know, they can't do this Baron. Ontario is just too low HP right now. He will just die if Baron orders him one more time. So yeah, he would just reset, re-heal up. But that was a really promising sign for this was a really promising sign for Shadow Isles, being able to clutch out that team fight even with an insane Jax flank. They were still able to win. So yeah, very, very well played by them. And yeah, as you can see, the Jarvan is starting to fall off a little bit. Jarvan can't just like engage anymore, because if he does, he'll just probably die. He won't really do any damage unless like Lucian and Nami are there like capitalizing on these ults, right? So yeah, we need to be careful. I mean, even here, like, has to be careful about when they go in. But Icathia is sending everyone in. They will use Burn the Silver ulti just to get everyone out. But will they contest the soul? And they might not. They're actually, maybe they're looking for it. We'll see. They don't contest the soul, but they will fight after the soul. This is a really good fight. Again, the front to back going in. Oh, whoa, the Jarvan. What did I just watch? He missed his EQ, and so he flash ulted the meld. But it's not enough. They are just not able to get onto this backline. There's too much peel, but they're teleporting into the base. They're trying to end here. And Cassante, trying to look for this, is able to like get some, but like it probably won't be enough. He probably won't even be able to get tower. They reset very quickly, so very well played. And with this Garen Stride Breaker slow, they might just die here. Yeah, Kama is just gonna die here and isn't able to actually get anything, and that might just be a Baron right from there. I mean, it certainly looks like they're looking for this Baron here. This is going to be really, really good for Shadow Isles. They might actually come back after those team fight losses at the Rift Herald. They might actually come back and win this game. They're playing these fights really, really well. They're playing front to back really well. And they're just able to keep their ADC from getting hit by anyone. Like, even when the Jax flanked, they were able to keep them alive. So, yeah, very, very well played. Getting that Baron. And honestly, they are ahead in gold again, even despite being down and killed, even despite being down a soul. It is a Cloud Soul, so, you know, it doesn't actually increase the combat power. It just increased the move speed. But, you know, they don't really care. They, like, yeah, Cloud Soul's good, and it helps Lucian, like, you know, line up his ultimates and stuff like that. But, you know, at the end of the day, like, they don't really like care too much about move speed. I mean, Sivir ult speeds up the other team, so there's that. And, you know, they want to be engaged on, so like the move speed won't actually like make too much of a difference in some of these fights, the way they will play out. See, so now we have the Garen side laning, and then we just have the entire team being grouped up here, and they're trying to really look at this engage. They see the Jarvan, but it still just isn't enough, right? They still just are not really able to go in, and so yeah, Garen is here, and this might just actually be game. It might be actually like Icathia losing. They might actually just lose from this point. They have all of their mid op, but like, look at this. Their Cassante is not really able to cut the wave open, and they're just kind of winning the game from here. I mean, Ivern and it's just Ivern and Braum. They don't really care. Like, their entire damage and their entire wave is just getting hit. But like, look, Cassante's not able to do anything. He is trying to stall the game, but at the same time, we can just see that on the other end, we have them ending the game over here. They have a wave. And look, that might just be game. The unstoppable Icathia is just going to be eliminated and knocked down to the lower bracket. That is incredible. They actually lost an entire series after being undefeated, only losing one game. That is insane, incredible, and you know, I think that they played really, really well. Or Shadow Ops played really, really well. Played their fights super clean, especially in the later stage of the game. So, very, very well played. Maybe, hey, how are you doing?
Knock knock. Who's there?
Hello.
Autism.
Correction. They were defeated. We defeated them in our last game against them in the regular
you did?
season.
Oh,
Yeah.
I did not
They-
know that. Okay,
They ended, I think it was 5-1 standings.
I see. So, I thought they lost one game. Okay.
No.
All
They
right,
lost.
well
They
played.
lost
You
one
just
one
beat them
series.
again. So, yeah, now that you're here, I actually didn't know how I was gonna move you, but congratulations on the win.
Thank
so
you.
how are you? First of all, how are you feeling after that series?
We're feeling really good.
Yeah, I can tell. Based on your gameplay, it seemed like the team fights were going like basically exactly according to plan. Like you guys drafted a bunch of front to back teams. So I just wanted to get your thoughts on like how you thought that those team fights played out. Do you have any like thoughts about how those went?
That's kind of what we were that's kind of what we're looking for in our drafts now. It's draft hyper carries and protect them as best as we can. And we've had a few especially in that last game, we had a few missteps at Otacon. We shouldn't have started it, and that was our downfall there. But we're feeling really good in how we're playing and what we're looking to do in these front to back team fights when we draft the comps. So
Yeah, that was great. It really came together, especially in that third game. Do you want to talk about that the third game where you kind of got to pop off as Zeri after the really chaotic level 1 play?
So we kind of thought they were going to invade with the Nautilus Karma, especially with the hook champ. So we all stacked the bush and we felt we were stronger early, even though they probably have a better invade comp. So it was just have Lulu stack the abilities on me so I can dish out a lot more damage, and started lane 3-0 and was able to just snowball it from there. People got to start respecting my Zeri.
Yeah, your Zeri was really, really clean. In fact, the times when it seemed like that game was like a little bit out of your control was when Malphite was solo ulting in without you. So, on that note of things, did you have any comments about or thoughts about what you're thinking about improving on for future matches, or are you just feeling really solid after this one?
We're feeling really solid. We need to kind of clean up our mistakes. That's the main thing we gotta do is clean up our mistakes. Being where we need to be when we want to be there, and then we've had a few moments in early team fights where we've lost them, but we were able to drag it back late game, and just cleaning up those would really propel us to be the team to beat in this playoff. So
Yep. I mean, you just beat the 1 seed apparently twice now, so it's got to be a huge confidence builder for you. So, yeah, congratulations on the win. Thanks for coming in and joining for the post-game interview, and I wish your team the best of luck in. I think it's great. Your next round is just finals, right?
yeah, we have a bye. We're waiting for I think two more games to play. So we're waiting for Bandle City and Camivore, and then we gotta wait for the winner of that and Icathia.
Yep. Yeah. So enjoy your bye and good luck on finals, I guess. Yeah. It's the next one.
Thank you.
Yep. All right. Have a good one, man.
You too.
All right. See ya. All right. So that will conclude the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed the casting for this game, and so I think the next game is on first Shimmer is going to be on Thursday at is going to be it's going to be Camivore versus my team versus Vandal City on Thursday. So I think it's 8 or 9. I don't know quite yet, but yeah. Look forward to that and the other series that BoozeBash will be hosting in the meantime. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the stream. Yeah, you're welcome, Atomic, for casting. It was very last minute, but yeah, I'm always glad to do it. So yeah, this is my first time. Yeah, all right, I'll see you all around.